Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk to you this evening. I think the theme is opportunities for the Port of Poole, but I will be talking about Poole Harbour. Here you can see a photograph of Poole Harbour. It is one of the most picturesque harbours in the UK. I'll be coming on to say a bit more about that later on. Poole Harbour, for those of you who are unfamiliar with it, it's a large lump of water to the south of Poole. It is in fact the largest natural harbour in Europe, 10,000 acres, 4,000 hectares. The largest harbour in the world is generally considered to be Sydney Harbour, but Poole is allegedly the second largest harbour, natural harbour in the world. And there's a whole diversity of activity going on within Poole Harbour. We've got commercial activity with the ferries, so we've got British ferries operating ships to ferries to Cherbourg and down to Spain. Condor ferries operating across the Channel Islands. We've got cruise ships, liner ships. We do some yacht exports. I'll come on to that a little bit later on. We have a project cargo, a variety of different dry cargo, bulk cargo, including steel, timber, grain and clay, which you mentioned earlier on. So this clay gets dug up from Dorset and is sent down to Spain and Portugal for their ceramics industry down there. There's some other commercial harbour activity as well. So we've got a large fleet of passenger boats which go from around Poole Harbour down to Wareham along the Jurassic coastline to Swanage as well. We've got a fishing angling fleet of about 150 vessels in Poole Harbour. Sunseeker you'll probably be aware of, which is the luxury boat builder who we work very closely with. The RNLI's headquarters is in Poole Harbour, or in Poole. We've also got over 7,000 yachts in Poole Harbour, so it is a real centre for the marine leisure sector. We get super yachts coming into Poole Harbour, and there's also a range of other leisure activities, jet skis, windsurfing, kite surfing. I think it's considered to be one of the best places to learn how to kite surf anywhere in the UK, and we get people travelling literally 300 or 400 miles down to Poole Harbour. Bits of it are very shallow, so if you fall off, it's easy to get back on your kite surf and windsurf. We've also got the military, so the SBS, which is the marine equivalent of the SAS, are based in Poole, in Hamworthy, and we work closely with them. Very impressive. And Poole Harbour itself operates within a number of environmental designations. So we've got SPA, Special Protection Area, Triple SI, Special Sites of Scientific Interest, Special Areas of Conservation, Ramsar sites. So effectively, sometimes it's like trying to run a business or run a port in a nature reserve, and that does cause us problems, but of course there are benefits as well. So we're a relatively small port. I know some of you are from Southampton. Southampton is a mega port. Poole Harbour is considered to be a medium-sized port. So we've got turnover. We're just doing the numbers for 2016-17. We'll be up around about 11 million probably turnover. You can see from the blue sector there that most of our revenue comes from bulk cargo operations, 38%, and ferries accounts for 31%. When I first arrived at Poole Harbour Commissioners, ferries accounted for almost 65% of all of our revenue, and we've tried to diversify since then, and we are continuing that strategy of diversification, and I'll be coming on to that a little bit later on. We also opened up marinas 10 years ago, so we now operate marinas in Poole Harbour, and that accounts for 10% of our turnover. We delighted, every year the European Union, European Commission chooses a port to host a European maritime event, and we were delighted 3 years ago. The European Commission decided to award the festival to Poole in 2017. from our perspective as a port and as a town, it's really an opportunity really to show off what Poole and Dorset have got to offer, to talk about our maritime sector, which is very important, but then there's also a tourism opportunity there as well. So I think it's fair to say I've been to two events. I was one in Piraeus in 2015, in Turku in Finland in 2016. Poole really is putting an awful lot into this. It's not a 1 or 2 day event. We've decided to go big. So it starts off with a maritime board, in fact on the 13th of May, and we've got 3 days of business to business, and we've got government involvement in that, government ministers coming down for those 3 days business to business, most of which will be held at the RNLI Centre in Poole. We then move on to the 2-day conference, and we rented out the Lighthouse in Poole, which is the big arts centre in Poole, for 2 or 3 days. And we come up with those 4 themes: safety and security, people and skills, innovation and growth, sustainability and governance. And we're going to finish it off with a 3-day boat show stroke maritime festival. There'll also be a Seven Seas festival in Bader Park and a food festival in Poole Park. So the Borough of Poole are hoping that it could attract 70,000 to 80,000 people over the course of the week. So it's a big event for Poole, the likes of which Poole has not seen before. So it's a great opportunity for Poole to show itself off. We move on to the Boat Show Stroke Maritime Festival. We expect 25,000 visitors to attend that. In fact, it will be the 3rd year. We actually started up the Boat Show Maritime Festival in 2015. Got close to 20,000 visitors last year. And now we're having it for the full 3 days. We're going to have historic vessels coming in. I think we've got 6 tall ships already booked in for that event. The Royal Navy are going to bring in 3 ships. In fact, we've got so many ships we've had to close down part of the commercial port in order to find space for them. But we think it's important to do that for this European maritime event because it is a special occasion for Poole. We've also got the Royal Marine Commando display unit coming in. Royal Marine band will be performing. We've got helicopter displays, a whole different activities and displays on the water, which you'll be able to see from Poole Quay or from the commercial port, because we've got 3 ferries running backwards and forwards between Poole Quay and the Port of Poole. There'll be different demonstrations of different types of vessels. There'll be taster sessions, which will be provided by the Royal Navy and the Royal Marines, as well as by Poole Yacht Clubs. So Poole Yacht Club, Parkston Yacht Club also will be doing taster sessions for young people that haven't been on the water before but are interested in going out on boats. We've got a live music stage for the full 3 days. Unfortunately, you two can't make it. I'm sure we've got some other interesting bands as well. The whole thing, the lead sponsor is Sunseeker, so they see it as an opportunity because they're a local company. They're throwing their weight behind the event as well. Fireworks displays, all sorts of other activities taking place. So if you are, at a loose end, 19, 20, 21 of May, come down to the Poole Quay, it's happening. Port Master Plan. So the government asked all major ports in the UK to come up with a master plan. So we went through this process. That's the port estate that you can see there. So we've got about 70 acres of port estate. As I say, in terms, compare it to Southampton, it's a much smaller land mass. So originally, the Port of Poole was just this area here, which was about 10 acres. We then extended it to there. We then reclaimed all of that land, which ensured that we could operate as a ro-ro port, because you need land in order for lorries and cars to queue up. And we had to build Poole Yacht Club, a new yacht club, because we effectively took their water and in fact took over the Poole Yacht Club headquarters. They did very nicely out of it, to be honest. But the master plan, we went through over 90 different events, public meetings, displays in local libraries. I think a councillor from the Borough of Poole said it was the best example of a public consultation that he'd seen. So we made sure that we spoke to all of our stakeholders, but really the continuing uncertainty with the ferry sector going forward was a key conclusion. we'd seen that decline both in freight and passengers through the port. It was clear to us that the Poole Harbour Commissioners needed to diversify if it wanted to survive. There's other smaller ports are disappearing, so Weymouth has now stopped handling any cargo at all to the rest of us, and I think there'll be lots of other ports following Weymouth because ships are getting bigger every year. You used to get lots of small coasters, 500 dead weight, 1,000 dead weight. They're not being built anymore. The smallest ship that's being built these days in shipyards is maybe 2,500 dead weight, but most of them are far bigger than that. So ships are getting bigger. It's all about economies of scale, and if ports don't provide the facilities for the big ships, then they will fall by the wayside. So we need to diversify. We did a number of marketing initiatives. We've identified a number of revenue streams for Poole going forward. But what was clear to us was we needed to build a new quay in Poole which could handle bigger ships if we wanted to attract new business to the port. This is where the new quay is going to be. So you've got Brittany Ferries berth, Condell berth, and then this new quay here in front of the Port of Poole Marina. It will mean a slightly reduced marina going forward, and the new quay will be complete by October 2017. And we can't wait because we've got a string of customers who are looking to bring ships into Poole Harbour. So cruise ships is a big thing. Southampton, we talked about Southampton too much, but they handle much bigger cruise ships than we'll be able to handle. It's a big part of their strategy. But this year we'll have over 20 cruise ships coming into Poole Harbour, and that's without the new quay. We've got cruise ship companies coming down next week, tomorrow in fact, spending all day tomorrow with cruise ship companies to attract them to Poole. Not cruise ship companies that currently utilise Southampton, but they're involved with other ports. You've got two types of cruise ship calls. You've got turnarounds where people join and leave a cruise, or it becomes part of a transit, so it's one of the ports that they visit during the cruise. So we really see some opportunity for Poole with regards to cruise ships, and we hope to get up to about 50 calls a year, which I think we should be able to manage without too much difficulty. Currently, Sunseeker, all of the Sunseekers that manufacture in Poole, every single one of them goes overseas. I can't understand why. Perhaps something to do with the climate. But every single Sunseeker goes to either the States, or down to the Med, or out to the Far East. And currently, they are all exported through Southampton. Hopefully, all of the Sunseekers, which currently have to go further up the coast, will be exported from Port of Poole. We've also got existing bulk cargo customers that want to bring in bigger ships. We've got new cargo customers that will relocate to Poole if we can provide them with the depth of water and the facilities. Project cargo is another area for growth for Poole. We're a rail connected port, so we've got a rail line right into the port. It's underutilised at the moment. Short sea containers is another sector that we would dearly like to get involved with as well. So we really see this new quay as a catalyst for the port. It will be a catalyst for growth, both for the port as well as for the local economy as well. As I said, there'll be benefits for the local economy as well. So we think about an extra 50 million into GBA, into the Poole economy. It helps to protect the existing jobs, but we'll be looking to recruit as a result of the new quay. As I say, Poole Harbour Commissioners, as a trust port, we don't have shareholders, so any profits we make are reinvested back into the port or back into the harbour, and it means that we can get involved with other projects. So we don't have to pay dividends, and we don't have to return funds back to shareholders. We're also looking at another project. So the first phase was the new South Quay, which we're cracking on with. We've also now got permission to deepen all of our other quays as well, so that's something we'll be looking to do in the future. But we're also looking at an extension to Poole Quay Boathaven. So this is the marine centre that we're looking at the moment, which will provide another 650 berths for marina berthing, events for visitor berthing and pursuit yachts as well. And we'd like to create a Poole Harbour Awareness Centre to educate people about Poole Harbour. And that obviously goes down very well with organisations such as Natural England, which are very keen to ensure that people understand the sensitivities of Poole Harbour. Obviously road links are very important. We used to just have one entrance into the port, which was the old lifting bridge, and the Borough of Poole went ahead with the Twin Sails Bridge, the iconic Twin Sails Bridge, which opened in 2012, which was a huge boost, not just for the port, but for the local businesses as well. Certainly much needed at the moment because the old bridge is closed for repairs, so if we didn't have the new bridge, it really would cause some problems. Through the LEP, we bid for pots of money, and the LEP have awarded 23 million for improved road links to the Port of Poole. It doesn't solve all the problems, but it's certainly a step in the right direction. And the LEP is also bidding for other projects to improve road links from Poole up to the A31. So I think that's pretty much it. That's just a...
Is that the same deer that we saw earlier on?
No, that's a different one actually. No, this is from Arm. I don't know if you've seen the winter watch programmes on television, but yes. So that's looking across from Arm across to the port. I think there's one more. Yeah, Poole Harbour is a spectacular harbour. For those of you who are unaware of it, you know it is a wonderful route in. Obviously, it's the start of the Jurassic coastline, which goes through to Devon. We've got New Forest on one side, we've got Jurassic Coast on the other, we've got Hardy Country. We think we've got a lot to offer, not just for cruise ship turnarounds, but also for transit calls as well. So thank you very much indeed for listening. I think that's about an hour, which is
absolutely spot on. Absolutely.
And, thank you for bearing with me.